Hi everyone, welcome to PharmaPulse, the new podcast by Reuters event where we're going to be discussing the latest trends. My name is Maria and we're here with Sarah Christensen, Nordic Digital Director at Novartis. We're going to be speaking about digital health today, but before we get into the heart of our conversation, Sarah, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself and about what you do in your company?
I am responsible for the digital transformation in the Nordics, where I focus mainly on the platforms, the technology, to really streamline the work processes that we do to make it easier and better for our people in the business to do their work, and then also focus on the transformation. So how do we innovate through customer experience and engagement?
That is wonderful. Right, so now let's get into the heart of the conversation. I have a couple of questions for you. The first one is, what are some of the biggest challenges you're facing around customer engagement in the industry today?
Thank you for the question. I'm going to answer that with 3 points. Number one is definitely channel mix. Are we meeting the HCPs with where they want to be? So, for example, in the most recent EPG report on the future of HCP engagement, it was said that HCPs prefer independent, interactive content on independent third-party websites. Yet you'll notice that most pharma companies are still interested in creating content and embellishing their own websites. It's like, if I give this example, it's like when you go to make a booking for a holiday. You don't go to each individual airline website looking for the best ticket prices. You don't look at each individual hotel website. You go to a booking aggregated site like booking.com, TripAdvisor, Expedia, and you tend to book your holiday all in one place. Yet we in Pharma, we have this blinkered view where we expect our customers to go to each of our websites and to engage with each of our content. So what the EPG Health report recently said is that they prefer these individual interactive third-party websites. So why don't we meet the HCPs where they want to be? Number two is what we're seeing now is a mix of HCPs, old versus new. So those who are digital natives, who prefer also, they're what we call independent information seekers. So they would prefer to find information on their own and then make the decision, versus a more traditional HCP relationship where the farmer, they prefer the farmer company sales rep relationship, where they tend to listen to the farmer rep and then get the information from there. So we have to understand what the customers want, and then tailor and personalize our content and our messages directly to them. And number three is going to be data and analytics. Are we, I think omnichannel is a buzzword, but so is a data-driven company. We're going to be a data-driven business. We're going to be data-driven this. But what does it mean to be data-driven? It means to look at the data, to understand, and then to make insights and to make actions from that data. And we tend to gather a lot of data, and we get lost in the metrics. What are we doing with the data, and how are we actioning that data to continue to grow and to better from where we are?
Yeah, that's really wonderful. And that's a brilliant analogy about booking.com. How should pharma be engaging with all these HCPs? Right. You mentioned data a little bit. So I would like to know, what do you think about data, and how should data play a role in a personalized customer journey? Do you think that the industry is investing enough in data and analytics, or is there anything that needs to be different?
I can't answer whether or not the industry is investing in data analytics. When I hear from different peers from different companies, there are different levels of investment from company to company. I myself, previously, before joining Pharma, I was in telecommunications, where we had there was majority investment in data and analytics, and a very, very small marketing department, 1/5 the size of the data and analytics department. And I think that we in Pharma have a way to go if we're going to be like other leading industry forefronts, industry runners. What was the other question? Sorry.
What is the role that data is playing at the moment to be able to accomplish a truly personalized customer journey?
So data could be used in a number of ways. And again, do I think that we in Pharma have it right? Should we be looking to copy what other retail people are doing, what other FMCG companies are doing, where they use the data to personalize every single interaction? And is that what the HCPs want? Data can play a great role in personalizing content. It can play a great role in personalizing the channels and also the timing of the content sent. And we are, some companies are more advanced than others in doing that.
So I know you said that omnichannel is a buzzword at the beginning of the conversation. I would like to know from you what you think the industry should do in terms of this being a buzzword. Like, how should they approach omnichannel going forward?
How should they approach omnichannel? I don't know. You know what? Being here in this conference, I hear a lot of questions being posed. And what I want to hear is the questions being answered. What are people's opinions? How do people think they're going to overcome this? And I just have to reflect again on my previous sort of roles outside of the pharma industry where we used omnichannel, but we weren't using it to the level that I hear it being used in pharma. For me here, it's more of an aspiration. We have to get to omnichannel, and how are we doing it? Whereas in other industries where I've been in, where we have omnichannel and we're running through omnichannel, it becomes, the aspiration becomes, we're doing great now, and this is the benchmark we set for ourselves now. What's next? What's next? So it's to understand where you are, whatever company you work with, whatever position you're in, understanding your role and how you can better it, and playing a part of that process versus just saying the spiel of we need to get to omnichannel, we should be doing this or we should be doing that, but just doing your bit and then trying to better from where you are today. And you could be very far ahead in the journey, or you could still be on multi-channel or single channel. That's okay, but just always try to better from where you are.
That is really good. Thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing that. Now to our last question. Breaking down the barriers between medical and commercial functions has been quite the topic lately. How do you see the industry actioning this and putting it into play? What do you think needs to happen?
Again, I've heard really good examples from different companies of how they're doing it and how they're breaking down barriers. Being a marketer myself, shared goals, shared responsibilities, shared accountabilities. One thing we do in Novartis in Norway is having one brand teams. So this brand team is working cross-functionally, working for the specific goal of the patient needs within that brand. I think that is a fantastic example of how we can work cross-functionally, cross-department to get things better. I do know that, one of the biggest divides between medical and commercial is also the strict legal and compliance. So medical needs to have a different compliance and regulations versus commercial. But I think understanding that and not working against it will help us also then alleviate and break down those barriers.
Yeah, that's really wonderful as well. Thank you, Sarah. So before we finish off, what is something that you want our audience to get from customer experience? What is the one thing that they should be focusing on?
The one thing they should be focusing on is putting, what I really enjoy doing, because often we spend a lot of money on focus groups, market research reports, spend a day in the customer's shoes, pretend to be the customer and see what happens and engage in the content, pretend to be that specialist that you're working with, and then see what other pharma websites there are, see how you would like to get the content. I think this is the best way to live customer experience.
That is a really good thing, honestly. I hope that the pharma industry can accomplish that. And thank you today for your insights, and thank you for all of you for listening. Please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast, and let us know what you'd like to hear next. You also can connect with us on LinkedIn at Reuters Events Pharma, or visit our website at reutersevent.com/pharma. Thank you again for joining us, and thank you to all of you. See you next time.
Views expressed in this podcast are those of individuals being interviewed and do not reflect any company, parent company, or affiliates they represent. Find out more on this topic at Reuters Events Pharma 2024, April 16th to the 18th in Barcelona, where we will align purpose, unlock innovation, and unleash healthcare's potential by uniting the greatest minds from across commercial, marketing, medical affairs, patient engagement, market access, real-world evidence, and digital health. For more information, please visit reutersevents.com/pharma/pharma-Europe.